Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Strangers and Exiles podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Toyrek. This is my co-host, Daniel Toyrek Sr.
Hello, everybody. God bless you all. I hope the Lord may bless you all richly and comfort you and all of the good things that come with believing in the true God, the Lord Jesus Christ, God the Father, and the Holy Spirit.
And give you true wisdom and true living water.
Amen.
Compared to all these other things that we've been covering.
Man, we've been covering so much, man. We got done with the Satanism. Now today we're going to go to another satanic religion.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to give us a start out or what do you think?
Well, I mean, we're talking about Santeria today.
Santeria.
Which is just a little... Hear it good?
Right, Junior's connecting with his Afro-Caribbean roots. The Yoruba tribe in Junior. Man, talking about this music. Talking about this music, man. What did we eat for dinner tonight? Let the people know what's doing.
Went to my grandma's house. We ate arroz con salchicha.
Arroz con salchicha. I'm sorry for all of you non-Spanish speakers. That is yellow rice with the little Vienna sausages.
It cut into pieces.
Yeah.
Stuffed bell peppers.
Man, Mom got fancy with that one.
Yeah.
No, but it was delicious. And she didn't use the regular pepper. She went with those little cute mini ones.
Yeah, the sweet
Stuffed
ones.
it up with picadillo, ground beef, cooked it in a what sauce?
In a tomato sauce, I guess?
Like in a red sauce, you know, like when I salsa roja. Oh,
and
money.
Then the plátanos.
The tostones. And then she also had like a cucumber, radish, tomato, onion salad.
Salad.
Man, she also rocked it with that avocado bread, huh?
Yeah.
She made avocado bread, man. The old lady's starting to become a baker, man. Mita Crocker, I'm gonna call her. and then she ended it with her famous whipped cream fruit salad. Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, but today she put those crushed pineapple things.
Yeah,
that was
good.
yummy. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
I don't know. I like to just have this music in the background. You don't like it?
No.
Can you hear it? But is it loud? Nah, let's turn it off. Okay, wait, just a little bit more though. I was trying to figure out what they were saying. Just so you guys know, this is what they listen to Santeria when they do their rituals. They get down with it. They got the drums, then they got the old guy. I have no idea what he's saying. Oh, that was a good ending.
It just stopped. Cool.
Yeah, man. But you notice a little bit of a theme here. Didn't I tell you that this is gonna take you to like Wakanda?
Yeah.
Like literally, this is the music they listen to in Wakanda. I'm just saying. For those that don't know, Wakanda is the movie Black Panther. I'm just saying this religion comes from Africa, and then I noticed that there was a lot of Santeria bits within Black Panther. Part 1, not part 2. So
it's a little just before we get into the actual information that we have here. Santeria is originally from Africa, and then obviously came over to the Caribbean through the slave trade, through conquistadors, the Spanish. And because of that, now Santeria isn't kosher anymore, since all the Catholics and stuff are conquering their lands. So now they need to guise it with the Catholic saints and stuff. And that's how Santeria kind of became a thing in the Afro-Caribbean culture. So we have this document here. I'm assuming Donald T. Moore is a Christian because he had that Christian perspective at the end of it.
Yeah.
But it's basically explaining Santeria and then later on it'll go into the Christian, I guess, debate against Santeria. So
Okay.
The start is now, what is Santeria, essentially?
Yeah, so basically, just like Junior said, it started out in Nigeria. The people were called the Yoruba and the Bantu tribes. The Yoruba especially. In come the Spaniards. The Spaniards take slaves, and then they drop them off in Cuba. These Yoruba people, these African slaves that were taken to Cuba, they had their own worship. They had their own gods, their pantheon. And originally they had more than 400 deities, but now they only actively worship 16 of them. Some of those are the foundation deities that form the foundation of religion are Obatala, Oshun, Yemaya, Oya, and Chango. And the 4 warrior spirits are Elegua, Ogun, Okosi, and Osun. They do believe in a creator god, and that god is called Olofi. Olofi. So basically, what they believe is that Olofi is the creator god, and then he emanates. Through him come these other deities, kind of like the way it works in Hinduism, you know, where you have, if you remember Brahman, and then Brahman, he projects as Isvara, and Isvara projects as Shiva, Brahma, and, you know, all of that. So it's kind of the same thing where this Olofi, this main god, he projects himself into these other deities. These are spirits that within the framework of Santeria that they do worship them. The Santero Central, just so you guys know, we do have props here.
I was going to talk
about that. Yeah. You want to mention them? Yeah, my mom was like, throw all that away after you're done with this. So, but yeah, we have over here, this is one of the warrior gods, which is Elegua. Elegua, it's a baby Elegua. Yeah, he has his little hat and everything. Little baby Elegua. Here we have, this is a bead ball with 2 shells. These cowrie shells are very important in Santeria. This is for, since it's black and red, this is for Elegua. Then you have here on this side, this little fat baby. This is Chango. Chango's favorite colors are red and white. So black and red is Elegua, red and white is Chango. Obviously, they sell these little doll things for all of the gods, but I got this one just because I don't know. I've always heard people say Chango, you know. So
yeah.
I just feel like maybe some people would know it better. Now, of course, every single one of the gods has their favorite colors. We're gonna get into that in a little bit, but yeah, this Amazon conveniently sold like the whole set, like the pantheon of Santeria beads. So you know, it is what it is. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a few seconds. With the mass exit from Cuba after the 1959 Communist Revolution, this faith in the Orishas, remember the Orishas are these manifestations, these spirits, this faith in Orishas was exported to Puerto Rico, to Panama, to Venezuela, to Mexico, the Dominican Republic. It was also introduced to different urban centers in the United States, including Miami, New York, Chicago, LA, and New Jersey. So after the Cuban situation there with Castro, then the people emigrated, they left, and then they took it along with them. In Hialeah, there was a Santeria church, like an actual church there, where you would go there and do the animal sacrifices. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then I guess, well, now the next part of this is now the actual deities. It goes into the main ones. There's 10 of them listed here.
Yeah.
The 10 main ones. And we were just saying the first bit of this is that Santeros believe that Orishas are the supernatural beings that emanate from Olofi, as you just kind of explained. And they have 2 noteworthy characteristics. First is their ability to control the variety of human forces, enterprises, and interests. So basically, like, affect your life with anything you ask. And the next is their representation of the different elements and forces of nature, which now goes into that kind of like the old school pantheon kind of god stuff, like with the Greek and the Roman kind of stuff. Yeah, being able to control nature. So
yeah, so like the hurricane season, which one of these did this? yeah, was it you, Chango? Thanks, bro. You know, and
it's funny you say Chango, because Chango, it says here lightning and thunder.
Oh, look, I didn't even know that. Yeah, you're right. All right, you want me to get into this?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So basically, just so you guys know, when the Africans were brought over to Cuba by the Spaniards, just like Junior alluded to before, I just want to clarify this. The Africans, they wanted to continue to do their worship. They wanted to continue to worship these gods that we're going to talk about tonight, these deities that they believe in. However, the Spaniards weren't cool with that, because the Spaniards were Catholic, and the Spaniards wanted everybody to be Catholic. So what these guys did, the Africans at that time in Cuba, they came up with a system where they would worship these gods, but they covered it up with Catholic saints. So they kind of they made their shrines look like it was for a Catholic saint, but it was actually for these things. And then at some point it just became part of it. And then now you literally have in Santeria, because it would be weird for me to sell you a religion right now that says, hey, like for instance, you are a complete white Cuban. Like, you're not African, you're not any of that. You know, you're a white Cuban. And, you know, you just happen to go to Dolphin Mall, right? And then while you're at Dolphin Mall, you see this group of people all dressed in white. And then they approach you. Hey, what's up, man? You're from Cuba? Yeah, I'm from Cuba. Oh, yeah, man. ¿Qué parte? What part are you from? That's the first thing they always ask. But then they tell you, hey, do you know about Santeria? And then he's like, yeah, I've heard about it, and like my neighbor or whatever. And then he's like, and then they start to explain to him. It's kind of hard for them to say, hey, look, white Cuban, this religion is from Africa. Nothing to do with us. However, it is also part of, it's Catholic-y. So now they blend. Yeah. So like the white people that you see at Dolphin Mall, the Cubans that are wearing all white, they took on the Catholic thing. Even though, yes, they are praying to these original gods, but they enshrine the Catholic saint. So for instance, the first one, Obatala. Obatala is, okay, wait, pull up the other file and go to the chart and tell me what color Obatala is. Because it doesn't tell us here the colors.
Do you have a different one? Oh, never mind. 8. White with silver or purple.
Okay, where's white with silver and purple? This is all white. White with silver and purple?
Maybe it's just the all white one. Or is this purple but it looks like blue?
Well, this is white and purple, but I don't see any silver.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, it's fine. We'll go with it. Okay, so this is the one for Obatala. All right. Obatala is associated with the Catholic saint Our Lady of Mercy. He is the father of the Orishas and creation. He is also the patron of peace and purity. The next one you have is Orunla, also known as Ifa or Orunmila.
Yellow and green.
Oh, that's the one that the dude came to the house the other day wearing. Yeah. This is Orunla. Is the patron of the high priest, known as Babalaos, and the principal magician of the Yoruba pantheon. He is, so Gota, do you think that dude is becoming a Babalao? I mean, if that's like the dude. We're gonna need that microwave fixed, though. I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, like, I'm willing to put aside this to get my microwave. All right, sorry, inside thing. Doesn't matter. He is equated with the Catholic Saint Francis of Assisi. Oh, that's a big name in church history, you know.
Yeah.
The next one is Yemaya, the patron of the seas and of motherhood. Yemaya gave birth to 14 of the most important Orishas, including my little friend here, Chango. She is likened to the Virgin of Regla.
It says blue, white, and crystal silver. So I don't know this one, maybe.
Yeah, let's say it's that one. That's fine. Yeah, let's throw it in there, the dump pile.
You kind of see blue and white on camera.
Yeah, that's fine. The next one is Oshun, the younger sister of Yemaya and the queen of love, marriage, gold, and the rivers, is the favorite concubine of Chango. So Chango likes to get down with Oshun. Is associated with Our Lady of Charity and is the patron saint of Cuba. Ooh. Oshun is a patron saint of Cuba.
It says yellow, green, and gold. I don't see any like that here.
Well, this one has all the colors. All right, man. Look, this is Amazon, bro. What are you going to do? The next one is Oya, the queen of the dead, is the ruler of fire, wind, and the cemetery. Ooh. This daughter of Yemaya there's a lot of chick Orishas here. This daughter of Yemaya is equated with Saint Teresa and the Virgin of Candelaria. Puerto Rico is known as the land of olla. It's because they have a lot of ollas over there. Olla is a pot, whatever, it's stupid. The next one is Chango. Chango, which right here, we got the Chango, the red and the white. The Orisha of virility. Ooh, it's a good one. It's a good one. I don't know how virile he was as a child, though. As a little baby, but all right. Is the patron of fire. Ooh, drums, doom, doom. Doom, doom, dance, lightning, and thunder. He is a great warrior. He gets victory over one's enemies as well as every difficulties. He is the son of Yemaya, and he is likened to Saint Barbara.
Cool.
See, now I know why I hear that one a lot. I mean, he seems like powerful.
Yeah.
Like according to this writing, you know. And now the next group are the warrior ones, which you got Elegua. Which we got Elegua right here as a little baby with his hat and a little sack so he could get coconuts. Let me get the hat back on, buddy. All right. We have he has that. Elegua, also known as Elegba, is the guardian of the doors, including the door of death. Ooh. So this guy's the one that lets people in and out, you know? He acts as the messenger of Olofi, so he is the messenger of the creator god. So this guy seems like he has a pretty big job. And the other Orishas to the human world. Ooh. So he acts as the messenger of Olofi and the other Orishas to the human world. Without his permission, get this, nothing can be accomplished. So that's why he's considered pretty important within their deal. As the principal deity of divination for the Santero, he is associated with Saint Anthony and the Holy Infant of Prague. Wow. Yeah, so now I understand why Elegua, like they make such, like when you look up Santeria, like his name comes up a lot. You know?
Yeah.
The next one is Ogun, another son of Yemaya, is equated with Saint Peter. He is the patron of metals, technology, and every working person. Wow.
It's a working man.
No, like, so he's like, so because of him, we have the iPhone.
Yeah.
And because of him, we have AI. And we also have cars. And basically everyone that is on a payroll somewhere. Good looking out, Ogun. So the next one is Okosi. Also a son of Yemaya. Remember, you might have 14 of these deals. You know what I mean? They're all prominent here. Is likened to Saint Norbert. He is the patron of the hunters and acts as a translator for Obatala.
Okay.
Why does Obatala need a translator? Homeboy doesn't talk other languages?
Issa Legwad is translator for everyone. Or the messenger.
He's a messenger, but Ogun is Okosi is a translator for Obatala. Yeah, they didn't get into that. See, now I'm interested in that. Like, what is he translating? Like, for instance, if you have Obatala as your guy, but he doesn't talk Spanish or he doesn't talk whatever. Yeah. Like, do you have to then go to Okosi? Okosi, can you help? Obatala's going to tell you, and then you tell me what he told you to tell me. All right.
It's a game of telephones at that point.
It's literally a game with these gods, these false gods. And then the last one is Osun. Is the Orisha that always accompanies Elegua and is associated with Saint John the Baptist. Osun warns Santeros when danger arises and is seen as the embodiment of joy.
Is John the Baptist coming in and not warning, but making the way for Jesus?
Making the way for Jesus, yes, the Savior of the world, which is joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they ripped that off. In addition to the Catholic saints symbolizing these deities, the Orishas are also represented by the fundamentos and secrets of the saints. This is where we get weird. Like, see, as you're reading this, all right, they got these gods. They're colorful. These little stupid babies, you know, Amazon. The beads, you know, whatever. Looks like some sort of weird Mardi Gras situation. Then the little statues. I mean, you know, some people might think we're racist or something like that by having these dolls, but we're not literally. This is in the religion. I mean, I could have gone to a botanica and paid 3 times as much, but I got it from Amazon. What are you going to do, you know? But now these fundamentos is where it gets weird. All right. And we're going to explain more about this later on, about what they do, these fundamentos. Fundamentos, just so you know, the Spanish word for foundations. They're stones. I actually looked this up. I went to Botanica online. Like, you can look at Botanica, and then they sell online. And they actually sell you the stones for whichever particular deity, whichever god.
Oh, okay.
These are stones. You can either buy 1 to 3. It's generally 1 to 3 of them. And you group them together for your initiation. You need to have, for you to be initiated, you need to have these stones. And that in their religion, the initiation is called el asiento, which is the what is that? I got that like the ascendancy, ascent, the ascent, the going up. All right. Also included are 16 of these shells. So in other words, whenever you're going to be initiated, you need to have these foundations. You need to have these shells. They look like little seashells. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, on this little doll here, he has a bunch of these little shells all around him. But you need to have 16 of them. Interestingly enough, wherever they made this in China, in whatever Jiangdong province, this Elegua, he has 13 of these little shells all around him, and then in his little tiny hand, he has 3 of them. So they literally put 16 shells on this made in China thing. Get your hat back on, bro. Why am I holding this stupid thing? So you need to have that. You need to have the 16 shells. You need to have several. The shells are called dilogun. And you need to have several atributos, which are attributes, or small figures and objects that represent the powers and characteristics of the deities. The stones become consecrated. They are kept in deep bowls, colorfully decorated to represent the Orisha, means to obtain benefits and protection for the believer. They are full of, now is where we get weird, bro. They are full of ash, not ash like cigarette ash, A-S-H-E, ashe, which means they are made of cosmic energy.
Nice.
We're going to explain more of that later. Remember, this is just a quick introduction.
Yeah.
They are even bathed, these rocks. In other words, when I'm telling you, you go to Botanica. We got a couple of them here in Homestead. You buy, let's just say you're a Chango person, whatever. You buy the Chango rocks. And then in your asiento or your initiation, they use the shells, these little shell, seashell things. And you have small figures, so you might have a small little figure of Chango there, like I got here. And then they get these rocks, and then they put them into a deep bowl. They are bathed with sacred liquids made from plants, cleaned, rubbed with oil. So in other words, you clean them with oil, you rub them, and then you feed the rocks, the stones. You feed the rocks with the deities, with the blood of the deity's favorite animal. Go back to the chart and tell me what is the favorite animal of this little homeboy here. Chango, I think he's the 6th one.
It's just fruits. Apples, yams, corn, peppers, bread, and pineapple juice.
No, the animals down here. Down here.
Oh, okay.
Horses?
Horses, rams, turtles, wood, pheasants, double axes.
Okay, wait. Okay. So let's just be clear with this. Yeah. Keep it open there just so I could see it on the side. All right. So in my initiation, in my asiento, I need to have the stones. I need to have the seashells. They get my stones, or that are the Chango stones. They wash them, they purify them. They got plants and all that. Then I have to kill either a horse, a ram, a turtle, a pheasant, or a double axes. I don't even know what that is. But anyway, I have to go to the pheasant guy.
Yeah.
Or I have to go to a pet supermarket and see if they still sell turtles. And then I kill, or a horse. I mean, that's like a serious thing. Or a ram. I kill that animal, and then I pour the blood on top of those rocks.
Nice. I guess.
When I'm reading this, and I'm saying to myself, do these people actually believe that pouring the blood of a pheasant, and the blood has to be hot. Like, in other words, you can't like kill it, today, then like, oh, we'll just we'll put it in the microwave, the blood, warm it up. Like, it literally, you have to, like, it has to be hot, like right out of the thing. After being converted into the abodes of the Orisha, so in other words, once the blood hits the rock now becomes the abode, the house of this of the Chango guy, right? The stones acquire, get this, the rocks that we just got at La Botanica, the rocks acquire both the personality and the power of the God that resides within them. The cowrie shells, the seashells, they are used for divination. The initiate keeps them in his house with other religious objects instead of in special temples. So just like Satanism, this is another religion that it's all about you.
Yeah.
It's all about you. It's your daily life. It's your daily walk. You don't actually go to church and come together. It is just your spiritual connection with whatever this fake God is. And then you give the God, go back to the chart. Like, for instance, you mentioned you put the little shrine wherever in your house. They usually tell you where to put it. But let's just say Chango. What are the fruits that he likes?
The apples, yams, corn, peppers, bread, and pineapple juice.
So in the shrine that I have of this guy, I got little photos. I also have, if I'm the Catholic, I got the Catholic whatever. But then I also put what? Apples?
Yeah, apples, yams, corn, peppers, bread, or pineapple juice.
Yeah, like maybe one day you put a couple of apples,
yeah.
And then the next day you could throw the whatever, And then supposedly they eat that. Dude, they feed spiritually off of that Macintosh apple that you put in front of the rocks.
Yeah.
This is a religion that believes that rocks eat apples. If that isn't shocking enough for you, I don't know what else. All right. The bead necklaces, these things, the beads necklaces, they're called eleke, just in case you were wondering. I know you were probably wondering what the African term is for that. Are made of the characteristic colors of each Orisha and are another important symbols. The colors of the Orishas radiate ash. Remember, ash is the power of the god. So right now, supposedly, these beads are radiating power. Very good. When a Santero wears an Orisha's colors, he is protected because any magical spell directed toward him is deflected.
Nice.
How convenient, man. Like, if you just put this on and then nobody could do spells on me.
It's almost like they were never happy in the first place.
What a coincidence. Oh, isn't that easy? Well, I might have to wear these when I go to Zambrano. So that is a complete inside personal joke that I'm going to have to mention it to them tomorrow. All right. That's basically an intro to their gods and all of that.
The next aspect of this is now the initiation, how to get into the religion. And this is one of those things where you're being reborn into the religion the way we look at baptism, but just completely false.
Yeah, just dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb. So once again, the initiation is referred to as the asiento, which signifies a contract and obligation. The Orisha agrees to protect his child. So for instance, if I was with the Chango promises, I don't know how, like, does he send you a text? Like, does he call you? Like, put it around him. Yeah.
There we go.
He's rocking it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, Playboy. So the Orisha promises to protect the initiate, and in turn, you promise to serve the Orisha. So it's hand in hand. You worship him, he takes care of you. Making the saint, or haciéndose el santo. That's a term commonly used in Spanish, but it actually, from this, is another expression used in reference to the initiation, making the saint. The process of initiation is long, complicated, and costly. I found that interesting.
Yeah.
I actually looked it up. Many thousands of dollars.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's not like
It's not a cheap thing.
Nah, bro. It ain't like, oh, you go to a Baptist church where you just got to give your life to Christ. You don't got to pay like an initiation fee of 10 grand. No, that's not a real religion then. If you don't have to pay at least $10,000, then it's a fake religion. Yeah. All right. It consists of several phases and varies according to the Orisha. First, it is necessary to determine which of the deities corresponds to the person that is seeking help. So in other words, let's just say you want to be initiated. We first have to figure out who your dude is, all right? This is accomplished through a divinatory process done by a santero or a high priest. So in other words, another santero, another one, a person has already gone through the entire initiation, or a high priest, which is a babalao. He could do it. An initiation begins with the reception of necklaces and ends with the asiento, or the initiation. The preparations for the initiation include a special bath and dressing with white clothes as a symbol of the new life. Wonder where they got that from. Sometimes the waters of the purification bath symbolize the amniotic liquid of birth. Okay. During the ceremony, the initiate is formally assigned an Orisha that will protect and watch over him. The ceremony includes animal sacrifices. Just so you know that there was a law against animal sacrifices, and it actually went to the Supreme Court in 1993, and the Supreme Court allowed for animal sacrifices for religious reasons, which is why the santeros have been able to stay in business, you know, because they actually are allowed to do animal sacrifices. So they're assigned the thing. They have animal sacrifices. Prediction of the initiate's future. Ooh. So during the asiento, they also predict your future. And obedience to taboos and restrictions for 1 year. So for an entire year, you have to be dressed in white. Every single day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, you have to be wearing all white. I wonder if you don't have white underwear. Do you have to go like buy new? Yeah,
I guess, right, yeah.
I don't know if it was just an external thing. Like I wonder if it's even like like women. They have to wear like white bras. Like you looked over like if she knows.
I don't know.
I don't know if she knows.
She might.
Well, yeah, because she says over there Santeria is big over there in Puerto Rico. During this time, the initiate must submit to certain prohibitions concerning apparel, sexual relations, food, and daily life. I didn't really look into what those prohibitions are, but, you know. Animal sacrifices are essential for the initiation because the blood is necessary for birth. It is believed that during the asiento, one is born to a new life as a child of the Orisha. For many santeros, this initiation is the first of a series of ceremonies that serve to dedicate them to more Orishas. Upon becoming a saint, un santero, two paths are opened up to the santero, that which is open to every man and woman, and that of Orunla, which is open to men who will become high priests or babalaos. So in other words, if you're a chick, you can only be a santera. Mm-hmm. If you're a man, you could just be a santero, or you could want to become a high priest, which is a babalao. During the ceremonies, drums and dances facilitate an altered state. During the ceremonies, drums and dances facilitate an altered state of consciousness known as a trance. I actually saw, there's some videos on YouTube you can watch. Yeah. This is identified as when the saint, the Orisha, comes down, the Orisha descends upon the head of the santero and has control over the frenetic movements of the possessed person. Or they could be possessed by the devil. Okay. These frenzied gestures allow onlookers to identify the deity. So depending on your trance and how you like, for instance, if you start breakdancing, then you're this one. If you start dancing like salsa, you're another one. If you start dancing cumbia, you're another one. If you start what if you're like in the urban area and you like booty dance? So in other words, they identify what saint you got based on the movements that you do while you're in this altered state, being completely possessed by the devil. I'm sorry, one of the Orishas. On other occasions, the blood of the let me lower this. The blood of the sacrifice. I'm enjoying the music part of it though. I don't know. On other occasions, the blood of the sacrificed animal is either poured directly over the sacred stones, or the initiate drinks it, symbolizing its consumption with the Orisha. Ooh. I read in that other file that I sent you that they pour it over the rocks and they immediately have to cook the meat and eat it. So that's why I was like, if I have a horse, that's not a cool meal.
Not it. Yeah.
That's why I think I would chill with the pheasant. At least it's a bird. I maybe would wish that I got the deity that was chicken, because then it's easy. I just make arroz con pollo.
There's a lot of horse meat in Europe, though. And people eat horse over there.
Yeah, no, those are the countries we don't travel to.
Next is the divinatory practices. So now after they become initiated, now they do these things. And one of the things I found interesting is now all these religions that we've been talking about, this one also believes in reincarnation.
Yeah.
We've been talking about Spiritism, they believe in reincarnation. And Hinduism and Buddhism, they all believe in that.
Man, it just seems like we went through this rabbit hole of reincarnation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Spiritism is something that we were just talking about, and I read a book, and I was telling Junior that, they also have the whole reincarnation bit. But now let's see what's up with the Santeria. Due to their concept of reincarnation, Santeros believe that prior to birth, it is possible to choose one's own destiny. This implies that there are predetermined aspects of life, such as one's character, work, economic status, intelligence, fortune, and longevity. Although it is not possible to change one's destiny, violating an Orisha's prohibition, disobeying a deity, and magical curses can worsen it. Because of this, the divinatory ceremonies, or the councils of Olofi, as it's also called, are incredibly important to the Santero. Through them, a person receives valuable advice about how to make his destiny less severe, how to decrease the number of problems that impact his life, and how to increase benefits available to him. Yeah, but wait. The next paragraph is the fun one. So basically, by doing the divination, you get advice. Like, for instance, this is my dude. He's gonna tell me during the divination. Let me fix his hat. He's gonna say, I don't know how he talks to me, but he's gonna say, "I'm gonna be Chango. I need help with something at work." Okay, this is what you're gonna do. Make sure you have nice, ample conversations with your manager, and then your manager will understand your position. And then, okay, all right. Chango, I'm sick. I have a thing. Oh, don't worry, my son. I will take care of you. I will be there for you. Okay, so Chango apparently because he has power. Remember, the power is in the beads and the rocks. So the three rocks that I have there and the beads that I wear, those emanate his power, and he's going to help me out. He's going to help me out how to decrease problems in my life. He's going to help me out how to get more benefits that are available. Perfect. So now let's see how this works. The usual celebrants of the divinatory rituals are the babalao, which are the high priests, and the santeros. So these are the ones that they do the rituals. Normally, their instruments of divination are the opele and the dilogun, which is the shells. You know, they have the shells. The ceremonies that rely upon divination include the reception of the necklaces, the initiation, the lustral bath, remember the bath, then the animal sacrifice, then the vegetable, fruit, and sweet offering. So in other words, you got the animal, and then my dude likes apples, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we go to Aldi, we get the apples. The candles offered during a spiritual or Catholic mass. Frequently, the obi and the deluga and the shells are asked questions about the will of the gods. Thus, these rituals are characterized as propitiatory, preventative, and reparative. So you use the shells to ask the will of the gods, and then I don't know how the gods respond, but somehow they figure it out. This is where I thought it was kind of funny, though. Coconuts are the basic tool of the divinatory system, but are limited to answering simple yes or no question. Any believer may consult the coconut, even a person who has not yet been initiated. Okay. Look, man, you got to understand, man, that's all they had in Africa. This is all they have in Cuba, bro. They didn't have, special tools and devices. They have a coconut, and they have seashells, and they throw the seashells on the coconut, and they get their answer.
I don't know. That paragraph just reminded me of. You might remember this from SpongeBob.
Could I have something to eat? No.
Could I have something to eat?
No.
Can't you say anything else but no?
The seashell. The
Can I
seashell.
have something to eat?
No.
Oh,
It's
they
the
ripped that
coconut.
off. They ripped that
It's
off.
the coconut.
How did you remember that? Okay, so now look. Let's keep it going here. Okay, now you have this other device. It's called the opele. The opele, it is a chain. This is what the babalaos use. Like, I don't know if you could look up a picture of a babalao just to see. Maybe we could zoom in just to see. Just babalao. Santeria. Santeria. Let's see if there's a picture of one. Somebody's willing to show us. Do you see like a chain with coconut pieces around him? Is he wearing a chain?
Is that coconut?
Yeah, those are coconut pieces. That's it. That's exactly it right there.
Okay, I mean, it's a little blurry, but
Yeah, it's a little blurry, but all right.
kind of see it's like that's his abdomen, and you see the pieces around him, kind of.
Yeah, he's wearing a chain with all these little pieces, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That is the opele, that thing. It is a chain filled with 8 pieces of coconut. You're going to love the math here, Junior. The babalao takes the chain by the middle and throws it on the floor so that the halves of the opele fall parallel to each other. So you can imagine, he has the 8 pieces, he throws it onto the floor. There are 16 ways in which each half can fall. Since there's 8 pieces and each piece has 2 sides, there are 16 ways that it could fall. These positions determine the interpretation given. So depending on how the coconut falls is your answer. The opele is thrown a number of times to determine the source affecting the person for good or evil. When it is discovered which orisha is protecting the person, questions are asked to establish which ritual is required by the deity. Generally, whatever the opele registers is valid for a period of 2 to 3 months, excluding serious situations.
Okay, but how do they determine what the coconut shells are saying?
The babalao, he's a master. He's a high priest. He's a high priest. He's a high priest. He already knows all 16 things, and based on that, then I don't know, bro. Once again, it's stupid. It's just stupid. Okay, the seashells are also used for divination. The 16 shells serve as the voice of the deity in answering questions. Am I going to get hit by lightning today? Not likely. Okay, so the shells answer questions. The shells of Elegua are normally used because Elegua interprets the solutions given by the Orishas, the other gods. Although the seashells of other deities are used for divination, they are rarely used during the believer's life.
What?
Does that mean that they use seashells after they die, before they're reincarnated?
I guess.
So they're like they're invisible shells in some sort of spirit world that they're all floating. Maybe it's Havana, Cuba, that they're all floating around. I don't know. Or maybe they all go back to Africa.
Oh yeah.
Like, do you think no, because then you're Cuban, but then again, this is an African thing. It doesn't matter. This procedure, the procedure of the shells is similar to that of the opele. Remember, the opele is the thing that has the 8 pieces of coconut, and depending on how they fall. However, a litany of invocations is used to communicate with the deities. Permission is requested of the guardian angel consulted. The shells are thrown 3 times in order to obtain a key letter and 2 secondary ones. The additional 5 shells are used so that by means of yes and no answer, one can find out. Once again, YouTube this. I'm sure that there's YouTube pictures, but in addition to other instruments of divination, such as the iquines, that consist of 16 seeds from 2 plants. However, they're very rarely used.
Oh, okay. So coconut, seashells, and seeds are their instruments.
In order for you to hear from your deity, your god, you must have a coconut, 16 shells, and in rare occasions, seeds from plants.
And these things.
And no, the beads are important.
Yeah, you need these things.
Yeah, you need it. You also need the shrine where you have like little pictures of your thing, your person. But generally, you use the shells of Elegua because he's the main one that talks.
The messenger,
the messenger and the communicator. So
next is talking about the animal sacrifice.
you know one thing I didn't get into, like in other words, were these okay? These are emanations from Olofi, right?
Yeah.
You know, all right,
Whatever.
But were they born? Because why do they sell them as babies?
Well, I guess talk about.
Yeah, because they had the mother
Yeah, we
Yemaya
said
and all
earlier,
that.
like
Yeah.
sons and daughters, whatever.
So in other words, they were born. Oh, that's why Obatala was the first one, because he's the first one, like the main one.
Did it say that?
Yeah, I did say that. What did it say about Obatala?
The father, the father of the Orishas and creation.
Yeah. You see? Okay.
So I guess he's the first Orisha.
And then he hooked up with but then where did the next one come from? Like in other words, who did he bang with to have babies?
He.
Yeah, they don't tell you that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, like Yemaya seems to the one that
probably
pumping out.
might
She
have
was
been was Yemaya.
Yeah, but where did Yemaya come from?
I don't know. Maybe the Olofi, whatever his name is, the creator god.
Olaf.
Yeah, Olaf.
Okay, we'll just call him Olaf.
Maybe Olaf created the 2 of them, and then they just started like pumping them out.
No, I get that in theory, but they don't explain that. Like in other words, this is conjecture right now. We're just making it up, but it's not that it actually. Once again, I don't care that much about it. We're just doing this because it's stupid. Only because there's so many of these idiots out in Dolphin Mall on Saturdays wearing all white. So like I felt like I had to address it, and it is something that started in Cuba, and I'm Cuban. There's a million Cubans here in Miami, and at least somebody might find this interesting.
Next is the animal sacrifice.
Don't. Off with his head.
With the poor chicken.
No, I'm doing pheasant because I'm not going to get stuck with horse meat. I'm just saying.
You have to get a horse. That's already expensive.
Yeah, right off the bat. Like, where do I get a horse? That's like $4 or $5 grand.
And how often do you do that? It's already like.
Oh, once a year.
So you have to spend however much on a horse.
That's
once a year.
why you go to the pheasant farm.
That's probably why they all do chicken and birds and stuff.
Yeah, no. Forget that.
Yeah,
I'm not just going to go at pollero. I'm just going to get a chicken.
If you're doing this in Cuba, forget about it.
Yeah. If you're in Cuba, there's no horses.
Yeah.
They've been eaten already.
Remember that documentary?
They've been that documentary.
The poor old guy like got his cow's taste stolen. It's like, damn, you felt bad for him.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
laughing.
It's the one that Joe told me about, and I saw it with Mom and all of that. And yeah, like the poor old guy, somebody stole his cow.
Yeah.
and felt
And you
bad
feel
for the
bad.
guy because that was his only animal, you know. And but that dude was 90 years old and he was still farming out there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Sacrifice is fundamental to the worship of the Orishas. Oh yeah, 'cause, see the other file. This one didn't specify, but yeah, the power in the rocks, it lasts a year. It lasts exactly 1 year. So every year you have to rehook up for the ash, for the you have to you know, it powers up. You know,
Charging. Yeah, charging your phone.
yeah, like literally, you got to plug in the rocks to charge once a year, because the blood, it wears out. You know, so of course they stole that from the Jewish tradition of every year the Day of Atonement. You know, of course, it's just once again. But yeah, you got to rehook up the rocks with charge every year for them to be effective. And I didn't read anywhere if they're most effective like the first week and then they kind of gradually go away. Like for instance, an iPhone, like on its third year, like the battery doesn't last as long, you know? Like, but the first month, it's like you could go 5 days and that thing stays on, you know? So I just wondered, like, in other words, do you really get your request out that first week? Like everything you want for the year, ask for it that first week, because then after that, you may or may not get hooked up.
Even like the first year that you become a Santero, like you're like chilling. And then every year it's like you have to do more and more rituals every so often.
Exactly. Animal blood is crucial to most important ceremonies, and each Orisha requires particular sacrifices that provide him with vital cosmic energy, the ash. One Orisha may prefer a goat, a calf, a pig, a fish, a sheep, or a turtle, while another one might want... What's the point of this? At the end of the day, don't you just want the blood? Like, is the blood of a chicken different from the blood? Like, theoretically, isn't it just blood?
I guess.
Like, okay, does blood from a goat taste different from blood from a rooster?
I mean, does meat from a horse taste different than meat from a cow?
But I'm assuming blood is blood, right? I mean, look, I saw True Blood. Those vampires will take anything. I'm just saying, like, these gods are akin to vampires.
I mean, you're looking at it logically, but at the same time, I feel like for them, it's almost like you're feeding them that animal.
Yeah, well, no, but you're supposed to eat the animal right after the you pour out the blood,
guess.
and the blood has to be hot. I just wonder, like, what's the point? Like, who originally came up with, like, I can imagine a group of Africans. Oh no, that one out there, no, eat that chicken, eat that rooster, you know. And then the other one, maybe they had a surplus of like wild pigs. They're like, all right, look, let's assign pigs so we can get rid of some of those, you know. See, I get off topics because sometimes I just wonder. So some other ones might want hens, chickens, roosters, guineas, geese, turkeys, or ducks. There are also other offerings that don't involve blood, such as honey, fruits, vegetables, black beans, and rice.
It's a very Cuban one.
Right? Does anybody want yuca con mojo? Like, I wonder if I get the Orisha that really wants maduros, you know?
If you ask for fufu, is it the African one or the Cuban one?
That's the thing. Is it the African fufu or is it the Cuban? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, they are African gods, you know? Like, I wonder if any one of these gods wants a pastelito de guayaba. So stupid. The Orishas that materialize in the stones, cowrie shells, and the beads, the necklace, do not eat the flesh of the sacrificed animals. Instead, the ash or the power contained in the blood is poured out over the rocks and the heads of the initiates. So in other words, you kill the chicken, you pour the blood over the rocks, and then you pour blood over the person being initiated. The sacred Yoruba words of consecration liberate this energy, and the blood enhances the Orisha's energy. It keeps them potent, efficient, and satisfied with the worshipers. Time out. What this tells me, I don't know if you interpret it. I interpret it this way. I interpret it that the Orishas need
that's what I was
the
thinking.
blood.
Yeah, I was thinking of like if every Santero just disappeared from the face of the earth, would they just like they die out?
They just die. That's it. Like, bye-bye, Chango. So if every Santero stops giving them blood on the rocks, they got nothing. Their religion is dead. All right. There is no salvation, prosperity, or security in Santeria without sacrifice. The gods cannot do without the sacrificial blood because it increases their energies. Those Santeros who participate in the sacrifice benefit by communing with the Orishas and being strengthened by the ash. So in other words, if you're there just watching somebody's, you also get energies, you know? Other reasons for animal sacrifice, including obtaining forgiveness from an Orisha, averting the fury of the creator, Olaf, and symbolizing the new birth of an initiate. Sacrifices also can be made to obtain favor from an Orisha, to free oneself from a magical jinx.
Nice.
So if you're under some sort of a curse, you could do a sacrifice to free yourself, to cleanse, to purify, or to turn away death. So you can kill an animal and shun away death. Santeros justify animal sacrifices by arguing that since the beginning, every covenant between God and man has been authenticated by animal blood. The victim is needed as proof of man's intention to honor the agreement. The blood represents the energy from which everything was created. Offering blood to a deity is equated with giving him a gift of pure energy that can be used in creation. So the animal sacrifice gives the god energy. It's funny that they believe in a God that they need to sustain and support, whereas we believe in a God that is all-sustaining, does not need anything from us. On the contrary, he is sovereign over us. The blood of sacrificed animals belongs to the Orishas and therefore to the creator god Olofi. It is his by divine right. But what happens if I stop giving him the sacrifice? How is it his by divine right? Okay. The killing of the animals is carried out in ceremonies with great solemnity and respect. Only trained santeros who have submitted to the appropriate initiatory rites are permitted to officiate a ceremony. Santeros argue that the Bible is filled with examples of the Israelites sacrificing to their God. Abraham was even willing to sacrifice his own son to please the Almighty God. In the book of Leviticus, Yahweh instructed Moses how to prepare and sacrifice the burnt offerings. When the tabernacle was completed, the 12 princes representing the 12 tribes of Israel brought 20 animals for sacrifice. Joseph and Mary complied with Leviticus 12 and took 2 doves to the temple to be sacrificed on the 8th day after Jesus was born. Even Jesus highlighted this. In other words, this is their argument. Even Jesus highlighted the importance of the blood sacrifice during the Last Supper when he identified the wine as the blood of the new covenant. Santeros also point that Jewish rabbis have received permission to sacrifice animals in accordance with the laws of Moses. The purification rite of kaparot, which Hasidic Jews observe on the eve of Yom Kippur to reconcile for the absence of the temple in Jerusalem, concludes with killing of hundreds of birds.
But you tried looking that up. We didn't see any conclusive evidence.
Well, I didn't look up Hasidic. I looked up Orthodox. Yeah, maybe I should have looked up the actual kaparot, like that word. Yeah, I guess do that while because we were questioning this. The Santeros and their families eat most of the animals they sacrifice. They believe that great healing powers in the meat consecrated to the Orishas keep those who eat it healthy. So in other words, right after the sacrifice, they take out a caldero and they make arroz con pollo, and that pollo has extra powers in it that they believe in. So interesting, whatever, stupid, but you know. Did you find anything?
Prophet Google says Hasidic Jews perform Kapparat on the eve of Yom Kippur.
I just said that. Do you think they stole it from this guy that wrote this page?
Chicken twirling. What is chicken twirling?
I don't know. We were talking about this earlier, and then we were questioning it because Prophet Google told us something else, but we didn't look up Hasidic. We looked up Orthodox. We also didn't look up the name of the... In other words, they're still performing animal sacrifices today. That's what a certain group of Jews... The Hasidic Jews are the ones that have the really curly sideburns. There's a joke because they're called Hasidim, and then
so I guess
a joke of Hasidim, but I don't believe him. All right.
So I guess the Hasidic Jews do still sacrifice, but they sacrifice chickens, not like big things like they used to. It's exclusive to chickens now.
I mean, how else are they going to get their schmaltz to make their matzo ball soup?
Now it goes into the ancestral spirits.
This is where we get
you go
into
to
Black Panther. This is Black Panther. This is Black Panther. Black Panther. You don't have the Black Panther theme song? Man, that'll be a good intro to this section. Black Panther theme song. Yeah. I don't even remember how it goes, but I remember I liked it. Black Panther 1 was good. Black Panther 2 was horrible. Yeah, look, you can actually see the ancestral spirits right there. Yeah, look. The Wakanda. Can fast forward that a little bit. And that's a cheesy theme song. Yeah, look, it feels ancestral. I feel the spirits of the Orishas just going everywhere.
You want to read while this is going on with the spirits?
Huh?
You want to read with the Orishas?
Yeah, I'm going to read this with that in the background.
Yeah, go
You might have to loop it, though. Is it too loud, Golda? Okay, lower it down a bit.
I have it like right next to the mic.
The veneration of ancestors is a crucial aspect of this religion. Its roots are founded in the belief that the Orishas have lived and died and now exist as supernatural forces. The dead are fundamental because they open the doors that lead to the Orishas. It is necessary to honor the dead by paying their dues, calling upon them, praying to them, and feeding them. For this reason, Santeros will make sacrifices and adorn sticks with ribbons and bells. That's what I was telling you about. They adorn sticks with ribbons and bells. The dead depend upon the living to keep them strong and energetic. So in other words, what they're saying right here is that the dead, they're fundamental because they open the doors that lead to the Orishas. And then you honor them by paying them dues, calling and praying to them. I feel like they ripped this off from the Catholic Church. When you pray to the saints, the veneration of the saints. Yeah. Every ceremony begins with an act of reverence to the dead that often includes remote ancestors. Santeros believe that the dead can intervene in people's lives, totally satanic, by providing them with protection or pestering them. Can you imagine if you have an old ancestral spirit that like bothers you, like, hey, when are you gonna start going to the gym, fat boy? You know, like pesters me all the time, you know? Okay. Thus, it is necessary to exalt and appease them in order to earn their favor. So these ancestral spirits, you got to like make them happy. You got to do the dance around with the stick and the bells and all that. In at least one ceremony, a 4-footed animal, normally a pig, is sacrificed to the dead. And then they throw it into the caja china. During the sacrifice, worshippers sing and pray in Yoruba to the deceased, beginning with the most important departed santeros. The head of the pig, you're gonna love this one. The head of the pig is severed from its body and placed on a white plate. The head and blood are then put under the altar where the dead can feed upon it. So the dead ancestral spirits eat the head of the pig that hasn't been cooked. They just chop it off.
I don't even we do that.
Yeah. But I don't believe that my dad is gonna enjoy the lechon asado. You know. Like, I don't think my grandfather's coming down like, hijo, pásame un chicharrón. You know, like, How long have we been going for?
Hour 5.
Yeah, because remember, that video is 8 or 9 minutes long. So let's just finish it up. Do you want to say anything?
Oh, I mean, this last bit is just the Christian evaluation, which I guess we don't exactly need to read that.
Well, I don't need to go through all of this. I mean, you know, what is your Christian evaluation of this?
I mean, obviously, completely, even though it has that Catholic guise is completely false. Obviously, it's just, you can't come up with a fake Christian religion that goes more against the Bible at this point. You're worshiping false gods. You're sacrificing things when Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice for us.
Amen.
It's just, and like, you got little dudes here that you're giving beads to, and you're like giving them gifts, and you're giving them praise and worship. And
they need your blood, if not they, you know.
Which I guess is probably a good thing. They just need to stop worshiping them.
Well, the thing is that, but it's growing. I mean, here in Miami, I'm seeing a whole bunch of people wearing all white everywhere, you know? So it's obviously, you know, it's an underground religion. You know, they don't have like temples, you know? So it's just something that's handed down from family to family. I mean, we even have somebody in our church that one of her sons is going through this, you know, and she's drastically praying that the Lord will open up the kid's eyes. But, you know, it's sad, but it's completely devil. It's demonic, completely devil worship. It is once again, they have removed the atoning sacrifice of Jesus Christ for what they believe are these other spirits that are helping them out in their daily life. Oh, Chango, help me out, man. You know, I don't got enough from my next week's car payment, whatever. Then you throw some shells inside of a coconut, and apparently you get an answer from that. You know, like, don't worry about it, I'll take care of you, you know?
Yeah.
Or does he actually like come to you and talk to you, you know, and like say things to you? I don't know. It's stupid, it's dumb, it's demonic, it is completely against anything right. It is an old ancient African tradition, a religion. They didn't know any better. You know, and that maybe that part of Africa, the Christ had not yet, the Catholic Church had not really gone there. This is in the 1500s, remember. You know, we know that Islam was spreading everywhere, but at that point, as we remember the Islam, they were also taking slaves. You know, if you remember when we went through Islam, so you have the Catholic Church in the version of the Spaniards taking these people as slaves, and then you have the Muslims taking them as slaves. Nobody's actively preaching to these people. So they're brought to Cuba, and then now they're forced doctrination of the Catholic Church. But then they kept their customs. But now, sadly, 500 years later, I'm seeing this everywhere in my own town. And you know, it's just sad that the devil deceives, and he continues to deceive, just like he deceives people with that spiritism that we're not going to do a podcast on that one. But you know, the devil finds a way to take things that are either completely demonic or things that are Christian in nature, but then put the demonic spin on it and deceive. And just like you said last time, if it deceives one here, it's a victory. If it deceives another one there, it's a victory. And then if you go to Dolphin Mall on Saturday, you'll see people that are deceived, and sadly, all we can do is pray for them that the Lord Jesus can reveal the true God to them. Not Chango, not Elegua, not Oruña and Uña and Maluña and Faruña. None of these things are real. This is stupid. This is all, you're keeping botanicas in business with all of this junk, going over there with your candles and all of that, and you're killing animals, and you think the rock has power? You're seriously telling me that a rock has power? How stupid can you be that you think that you pour the blood of a chicken on a rock, and for an entire year that rock is going to talk to you? And then how do you get your answers? From a coconut with seashells? I mean, on the nose. If I were to tell you that this is a religion that you pour blood on a rock, and then you have beads that have powers, and then you get all of your life's answers from a coconut with 16 seashells, you'd think I was an idiot. But yet they're all out there right now. Come to Christ, the Lord Jesus. He's the only one that could save you.
Amen.
That's all I got to say about that. Now I get to throw away these stupid things. It was just for show, really.
Yeah.
Decoration. Yeah. See you later, buddy.
I didn't say this at the beginning of the episode, but
Give me blood. I need blood. I need blood. If not, I'm going to die. Come on. Give me a chicken. Give me a chicken. Give me a horse. A horse. A lot of blood. A lot of blood for my horse. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Give me a horse. Give me. Oh. Oh, now I'm strong. I'm strong for a whole year. Yeah. I had to do it. I mean, I messed around with Baffy Duck, so now I had to do Changuito.
Changuito.
This is Changuito. Yes.
Tom was looking at you funny. For a
Tom was looking over here, huh?
second.
All right. Stop crying, you baby.
All right. If you guys enjoyed, please like and subscribe. I didn't say it earlier.
Oh, we didn't say that earlier.
No.
Yeah, okay,
forgot
cool.
to.
No, that's fine.
So yeah, we'll see you guys
Hopefully
next
you
week.
stayed to the end for the little Changuito,
Changuito.
like little. Blah, 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 blah. It feels like it's one of the gremlins, like when they were before they turned. But yeah. Anyway. All right, you
All
guys.
right, see you guys next week.
God bless you all. Take care. Peace.